Hey Brother Embry, this is Jacob Price. I was originally supposed to give my TED Talk on Tuesday this past week, but I came up and talked to you and explained I had a really bad cold, so I wasn't able to give my speech. You just told me that I could videotape it and send it to you, so that's what I'm doing now. I did just finish up creating a PowerPoint for my speech. It does just seem kind of inconvenient though to show it at the same time through the video. I just don't know how well that'll work. So I'll just show you that it exists. Just kind of show you what I had here. Just a couple of the slides I had, just going through it real quick. But yeah, so that's all I had. But that was there. I guess I just won't use it over the video because I don't really know how that'll work. But I did want to start off by showing a video in my TED Talk, and so I'll start that. And when I start this video, that's when my TED Talk will start. Spotify, Instagram, YouTube, streaming services, TV networks, Facebook, TikTok, Xbox, PlayStation, Snapchat, virtual reality, dating apps, texting, and Messenger are all examples of platforms that have an opportunity to do great things, but unfortunately in today's world are too often used to escape our reality, which consists of pain, anguish, anxiety, to escape into a fake world where the consequences seem less severe. This is an important subject at hand because whether we like it or not, we have all become completely trapped by the media we consume, whether that we consume it voluntarily or involuntarily. On mintedtruth.org it states, overall, Instagram and Snapchat are evil or sinful, but the way we define ourselves by these platforms sure leads us into trouble. As a result of seeing ourselves and our lives through a screen, we have lost connection with reality, others, and most importantly, the Lord. I think that this is a really powerful quote because it reminds us of three of the most important things, maybe the most important things, that we need to know and understand while here on this earth, which is our Heavenly Father, ourselves and others, and reality. Later on, the article goes on to say that Snapchat filters retouch every blemish, while Instagram highlights the things we want others to see. Twitter captures the height of our humor, while Pinterest dreams up our perfect lives. Our posts often picture what we want to paint, not what our life honestly portrays. My point here is that the media we consume has trapped us into believing that constant perfection is actually obtainable, that that's an actual realistic goal that we can have, which is obviously not true. It doesn't matter if it's TV, social media, or video games. It doesn't matter. Think of TV and the things that it's taught us, that it almost seems realistic that we can constantly have perfect conversations without any awkward silence, with no uncomfortable situations, but that we can be perfect in any social situation. With social media, people will often post the absolute highs of their life or the absolute lows of their life. There's rarely that in between. And with video games, we're taught we can have control over basically anything. So once we hop out of this fake world and back into reality, we're left to realize how boring, mundane, or even just monotonous our lives actually are. The easiest example that comes to my mind regarding this is when we're driving to school, jamming out to our favorite song. In that moment, we become immersed in that song, and obviously everybody's different. But in this scenario, when we're becoming so immersed into the song, we're jamming along to it. In that moment, I can't speak for everybody, but some of us might think that we might pretend that we're characters from a movie with background music, or just that our lives can be this exciting all the time, or that the high that we're feeling from that music is something that we can experience forever. The unfortunate reality is that eventually the music will be turned off, we'll step out of our cars, and it'll be quiet again. We're brought back down into that regular state. So ultimately, the media that we consume sometimes lifts us into this other reality, something that isn't real. And then that feeling that is caused from going from ultimate high to just regular life can be pretty depressing, and it makes sense why our world is so depressed nowadays. Now, in no way am I trying to say that music is bad. Obviously, music is great, but I'm just explaining that it's important not to rely on outside influences or our media to be happy. Now, how does this affect us? According to swnsdigital.com, it states that the study of 2,000 millennials found 65% don't feel confident when it comes to face-to-face social situations. Are you a part of the 65%? That's a crazy statistic to think about. Just in this room alone, nearly 7 out of every 10 students here feel awkward right now. On blog.betway.com, it says that according to clinical psychologist Dr. Deborah Perez, TV series and films don't just impact us, they help share our personality as a whole. Human beings become who they are by interacting with the world, doing things, producing things, consuming things, relating to other people. In this sense, there is a direct influence to media products on our subjectivity. Ultimately, you are what you consume. Positive things will contribute positive things into our lives. Likewise, negative things will contribute negative things into our lives. My theory is that one of the greatest contributions to social awkwardness in today's world is the TV and movies that we watch. Think about it. We may be watching a movie and there's a 1-minute scene where 2 characters are having a conversation. In this conversation, it seems to go perfectly. And at the end of the conversation, it cuts to the next scene. We don't see first of all, the hours and hours of time that went into spent practicing that conversation and dialing down the lines and making it perfect in every possible way. And in real life, when we're done with a couple sentences, life just doesn't cut to the next scene. There's still lingering conversation that happens. There still might be some awkward silence. Life just isn't as straightforward as that. To my third point, why does this matter? There's a couple quotes I want to read that can help illustrate this. These quotes are related to surrounding yourself with positive people, but I think the principle is the same. Jim Rohn said, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." And Hans F. Hansen stated that people inspire you or drain you. Pick them wisely. Again, it doesn't matter the topic at hand, whether it's surrounding yourself with good people or surrounding yourself with good media. The principle is the same, and why should it be any different? Ultimately, I hope that we allow ourselves to take full control of our lives. We can all do and be anything we want. We have the control. It's important not to allow ourselves to be controlled over our media. Today, I hope you notice any disconnection you have from reality in your life, how it affects you, and why that matters. To reiterate Hans F. Hansen, people inspire you or drain you. Pick them wisely. Likewise, I say that media will either inspire you or drain you. Pick wisely. Thank you.